Have you ever wondered why you like certain food or why other people avoid the food you love? Hi, I'm Sally Degady. I'm Assistant Professor at the University of Nottingham, and I'm investigating what happens to our brain when we eat. All living things metabolize food to survive and to grow. In humans, satiety and appetite are controlled by complex communications between several hormones like leptin and ghrelin and the brain. However, understanding what we choose to eat and why is much more complicated.
Humans' brains are wired to prefer foods that are rich in fat and sugar because they are a very efficient source of energy and our bodies are programmed for survival. However, a liking or disliking of foods also comes down to our genetic code and to our lived experiences, both of which are completely personal to us. If we could see how the brain reacts when we taste foods, we might be able to understand preference, such as why some people prefer milk chocolate and others prefer dark chocolate.
When we stick a chocolate bar in our mouth and start to chew, our taste receptors in the taste bud identify these chemical compounds in the chocolate bar and send these signals to the brain through nerve fibers to process and identify the taste.
Sweet and sour taste receptors send signals to the brain to indicate that a chocolate-covered strawberry is sugary and tart. Beta receptors send signals indicating this chocolate has a better aftertaste. All of these informations gets merged together in the primary taste cortex in a brain to a single sensation to identify the chocolate taste.
Memories of tasting chocolate and whether this experience was liked or disliked before is identified in an area of the brain called hippocampus. However, it's worth remembering that taste sensation varies greatly across individuals. Here at the Sir Peter Mansfield Imaging Centre, we use magnetic resonance imaging, or MRI, to study brain perception to food and why some people might taste food differently.
This works because hydrogen atoms we find in water molecules in our bodies have interesting magnetic properties. Normally, these molecules are arranged randomly in our bodies, but when we lie inside a strong magnetic field, as in the MRI machine, this causes the protons in the hydrogen atom to line up in the same direction as the strong magnetic field. To create an image of a body part, for example the brain, the MRI machine sends a shorter burst of radio waves. The protons absorb this energy and move along the magnetic field, but when the machine stops sending radio waves, the proton release the energy they had absorbed and go back to their original position. These emitted energies are detected by the MRI machine and the signal are sent to a powerful computer to translate the information to an image of the body. And as different tissues have different water contents, we get different signals between different tissues. This allows us to build a detailed three-dimensional picture of our body in a safe and a non-invasive way. With functional MRI, we can even see which parts of the brain becomes more active when we experience something, like tasting food.
By comparing images of the brain at rest and while performing a task like tasting a chocolate, we can identify which areas of the brain are activated when we taste chocolate. And we can also identify how this varies across people.
The Future Food Beacon, exploring new ways of feeding the world.